Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day in paradise. And of course, it is, I guess everyone's getting back to work today. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people will be getting back to work today after the big, long Christmas, New Year's, and holidays. It's going to be pretty amazing. And of course, people look forward to work when they get back, don't they? Is that you? Is that you? I don't know. Let me know. Some people love their work. Some people, just have to do it to get by. But hey, we're in crypto, so it's a lot of fun here. If you get bored at work, crypto it's good times in crypto. And of course, we got a few people in house. We got 50 cow pulse on Superman Crypto there. No Bitcoin pumped. No Bitcoin pumped. I guess you're saying Bitcoin pumped. Pulsechain and Pulsex are trying to recover from the last dump. Says 50 cow pulse. We got Jiro in house there. Good morning. Hashtag Pulsechain memes. Watch out for teddy bear. And NYT Dodge. Yeah, guys seem to be in there about the NYT Dodge. 15K market cap, renounced and burned LP, says Jero. What else we got there? We got Joey in house there. What's up, Joey? What's up? Good to see you, Joey. We got Brennan as well. Woo! Pump it, pump it. Now, Brennan's our TA expert in Discord. Big shout out to Brennan. And we got Sinful Believer in the house there. This is our year. Let's go. I like that. I like that indeed. This is our year. Let's go. Very cool. What else there? Morning, Super. Morning to you. Archie in the house as well. Hi, all. Good to see Archie, another one of our awesome moderators and in Strategy Club. Big shout out to Archie. Check my pulse. What's up, you all? Good to see you. Check my pulse. Wookie in the house as well. Wookie is plain crazy. That's true. Wookie is another one of our moderators. He's definitely crazy. That guy's crazy. Check my pulses in the house there. Good to see you. Check my pulse. What's up, y'all? Says check my pulse. Now, it is the third day of the Hex conference, third of 3 out of 4 days. So I will be on today's Hex conference later on, probably in about 3 hours or so, with Crypto Heartbeat, apparently. So I'll be on in that session. So you can check that. We will talk about that later on at the end of the live stream here. So yeah, I'll probably go for an outing before that, though. We've got Brian in the house there, our community leader. Good to see you, Brian. What's up, folks? Welcome to the chat as well. Looking good, looking good. Now, we're going to be covering all the markets, so let's get into it. Without further ado, let us go. And bam, and let's pull it up. So we'll kick off the stock market today. And what do we got? Let me just close that down. We've got the markets looking green. Do you like green? I think I like green. And the Dow Jones there is up 0.6%, 217 points to 37,683. So looking good with the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones is the top 30 industrials. That is sitting in there. The S&P 500 up 1.4%. That's a pretty good move today. What's that, up 66 points or something to 4,763. Still holding strong is the S&P 500. And, of course, the NASDAQ there up 2.2% with all the tech companies. That's a very good day. 319 points there. Wow, to 14,843 on NASDAQ. How's that performing over time? With the NASDAQ, yeah, right up there. Are we going to get a double top on there? What's going on? We will see what happens there. The US dollar is down just slightly versus trading partners at 102 on the index. And let's have a look at the commodities. Speaking about US dollar, we got West Texas oil and Brent oil there at $71 and $76 respectively. West Texas is down about 4% there on the Saudi news. So we'll get to that. Gold at the moment, $2,034. And silver there at $23.30. It's kind of where that's playing at the moment. We do have some kind of news to talk about. The CPI, that's the Consumer Price Index, the inflation rate, release to offer rates clarity. Hopefully we'll get some rates clarity later on. Friday's monthly US jobs report came in stronger than expected, and coupled with the minutes from the last Fed meeting has elevated uncertainty over what the US central bank intends to do with interest rates early in the new year. And, of course, we are in the new year now. Dallas Fed boss Laurie Logan even warned on Saturday that rates could even be lifted again. Say what? Now, we are hoping that 5.5% is the terminal rate. And, a lot of the market's expecting a rate cut, not another rate hike. If we don't maintain sufficient tight financial conditions, there is a risk that inflation will pick back up and reverse the progress we've made, she said. In light of the easing in financial conditions in recent months, we shouldn't take the possibility of another rate increase off the table quite just yet. Now, obviously, a lot of the market's expecting March or even May. May seems like a good time. We'll see how we get on. Thursday's US inflation data could offer greater clarity, with US CPI rising by 0.2% month on month and an annual increase of 3.2%. Remember, they're targeting 2% on the interest rate target. The crucial core figure is rising by 0.2% month on month, dragging the annual pace down to 3.8%, a level not seen since mid-2021. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic is also due to speak later in Monday's session, and his views will be studied carefully for his perspective on monetary policy easing. So that's kind of where we are with the economics side of things. And of course, we're looking for that interest rate pivot, right? One thing we did have with the oil, we did have the Saudis cut their export prices. So that's one thing that did occur there on the oil front. Let's jump into the, let's go to the interest rates tools. Quickly check that out before we move on to crypto. And we got 3 weeks and 1 day and 19 hours to go, folks, until the next Fed meeting, which is the first one of 2024. And that is the 31st of January at 2 p.m. Eastern time. At the moment, we have 95% almost of people expecting a no change. No one's expecting a rate hike. And of course, on March, we have virtually, I don't know, we have 65% of people expecting a rate pivot. I'm not in that camp quite yet. And hopefully the data comes out. We'll see what happens there with the CPI. The May, though, is the majority of the market is expecting a pivot. What's that, 98.4%? And I think that's probably the best time frame there is May. So that's May there for the next meeting. All right, let's jump over to crypto. Do you like dark green? Because, man, we got dark green today, man. Yeah, pump it up, pump it up. And looking really, really good, isn't it? It's looking so, so good. We've got a couple of comments in the chat there. Let's talk about those. We've got Yellowtail. Hola. Good to see you, Yellowtail. Welcome to chat. And I hope you're enjoying the green. So Bitcoin there, 47,000. Obviously, we're now moving into the Bitcoin window. $47,065. 7% increase today. A real strong move from Bitcoin. And the dominance has gone up to 52.13%. Maybe we were sitting around 50, 51%. We even got down to 49 something. We're 52% Bitcoin dominance. Ethereum there at $2,335. Nice move up as well, 5%. And you can see all the different other charts there. Solana up 10%, XRP up 5%, ADA up 10%, AVAX up 7%, Matic up 5%. So you can see some real nice moves there. ICP, which has garnered a lot of attention lately, is up 20% there to $13. So some nice little moves going on there as well. Litecoin up 6%, SHIB up 6%, all of the leaders there. Arbitrum there is up, 6.8%, so a lot of 6 to 7% gains across the board. Pretty impressive there. And Optimism also is up 7.77% there, $3.43 for Optimism. And, of course, we've got Protodank sharding testing for Ethereum this month, right? So that's some excitement for Arbitrum and Optimism now. That leads us into the Bitcoin chart. And, man, look at that. I love seeing it on the chart there. Excuse me. We've got a big pump here today. Look at that. Wow. We were down as low as 43,200. We're up as high as 47,330. And we're currently sitting around 47. So looking pretty good. And we're now entered the window for the Bitcoin ETF, pretty much between the 8th and the 10th. Really, the 10th is the kind of the target date there on Wednesday. Yeah, it's getting pretty exciting to lead into that. So let's talk about some of the news around that. It's James Stefford, the big, I think, Bloomberg analyst who's been covering this pretty good. He goes, I know there's been a lot of noise, but just in case anyone has been living under a rock, we're in that January 8th to 10th window that many of us have had our eyes on. Bitcoin ETFs are knocking on the door of SEC approval. That was 5 hours ago from him. So that's the latest and greatest, folks, on that. And, of course, then he says, at this point, I'm expecting the 9B-4 approval orders on January 10th, most likely, but we'll obviously be watching for them if they come earlier. No guarantees on this, of course. Duh. And then we've got also going to pat ourselves on the back here. Tons of different media outlets came out of the woodwork over the last few weeks, and multiple made a lot of hype about approvals happening last week or different days. We haven't budged on this one. In other words, their 90% chance of the 10th of January still is, they've held to their guns to that. And, of course, we've seen a lot of those false rumors out and about there about that. Now, the other big issue that's been around is obviously there's been a lot of submissions just leading into the final close. And, of course, from the different applicants for the Bitcoin ETF, and you can see a lot of these have been updated here in terms of the updates. Now, people have been talking about the fees that have come in, so there's probably going to be a big fee war. These fees, of course, also compete against the centralized exchanges, and a lot of these fees are very attractive, really. So really going to undermine a lot of centralized exchanges. It's going to be fun to see how money enters via exchanges, centralized exchanges, or through Bitcoin ETFs. And obviously, Bitcoin ETFs in general been pretty successful and kind of becoming the mainstay there of investment vehicles. So at the moment, that is the fees that come in there. So some interesting commentary about that. So that's kind of where we're heading at the moment on the updates. So we'll keep you updated with James Steffert there, Bloomberg analyst, one of the two probably main analysts out there at the moment. I mean, calling pretty good calls on the stuff. So that is Bitcoin looking pretty good, and the market's responding. Now, are we going to get resistance at 48K? And we're at 47,300, right? Are we going to get resistance 48K? Are we going to? You saw Richard's post the other day. He wasn't too impressed with where Bitcoin had got to so far at the ETF. But hey, look, if we break 50K, then that's game on, right? So 50K is game on. That potentially another leg, right? Another leg up. You see, we've got kind of had 3 legs up. 1, 2, and now we're going to get that big third one. Break the 50K here as well. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess we've got one big one there, and then 2, and then we're getting a third one and break the 50K. That's kind of what people are looking at. Other people talk about the bearish scenario, right? We might as well talk about that all here. Bearish scenario breaking down, potentially down if we get a deferment to March. Sorry, if we get deferment to March, then maybe we'll get a pullback. I don't know. We might come back to the high, maybe 38 or something like that. But if we get just a decline, which seems very unlikely, then you're probably looking at 32K or something like that. Pretty dramatic, and maybe some pretty incredibly carnage. We'll see what happens there. But that is where we are at the moment. Ethereum at the moment is also up, doing pretty well, 2,330. Not altcoin season quite yet, but man, it's teasing us. We'll see how we get on. We want positive news from the Bitcoin ETF though, and we also want pretty good dollars coming in as well, because we're thinking about the Ethereum ETFs. There's about 7 or 8 of them that are going to be targeted for approval in May. Then we obviously want Bitcoin ETFs to do well, right? To feed into the Ethereum ETFs doing well. Also, the other side of it, of course, we've got Proto-Dank sharding, and that testing is this month, as I said earlier, which we covered about a week ago. So there's Ethereum ETFs there. We want that altcoin season, and of course, I think really, busting clearly over that 2,400 mark, pretty good sign for the beginning of that, in my view, of following on the back of Bitcoin, of course. We got Pulsechain. Let's get to that. Have we got any more comments in the chat before we do? Let's see else. We got Statement Hexes in here. What's up with Hedron Acosa? Haven't heard much from Alex lately. Now, Alex was on the Hex conference. Was it yesterday? I think it was. So definitely watch that session. It's on, I think, in the morning, or not in the morning, early afternoon or something like that when they had it. I don't know whether he made comments in particular about that. Someone told me that he hadn't said too much there. But yeah, I'll have to watch it myself. Loyal X says, "Hi Superman, can't wait to hear your AI voice on Matty Shake." Right, which language would you choose? I don't know, Loyal X. It's going to be interesting. Feel free to post a suggestion. StakeX says, Acosa killed it lately, says StakeX. And yeah, if you want to join the strategy club, there's Wookie's link, one of our moderators. Check if you want to get into it. Multi-chain too, not just Pulsechain, but multi-chain. And we look for some of the best projects and try to fly on them, which is pretty good. All right, should we get into it? Let's get into Pulsechain. We've got day 241 to talk about, which is pretty fun. Let's do it. Let's do it without further ado. Actually, before we do it, though, I want to leave you a bit of inspiration about the Bitcoin. So let's play that quickly.
Clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism, And I think there's more people running into a fight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
So that's a video from a couple of months ago. And of course, that was Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, and of course, the biggest financial institution in the world. And of course, they're bullish about crypto, man. It's got to be game on in the the 15 to 18 months ahead for us. It's going to be pretty fun. There's always going to be pullbacks in the game, but man, it's the bull market's going to be really, really awesome with that. All right, let's get into it. Law Alex says US Southern accent would be funny. Yeah. I think they want a completely different language from English, though, if you're speaking English. But yeah, Southern accent, that would be fun. All right, let's get into it. So day 241, we got Pulsechain up 13.5%. That is a pump. That's a pump. Now we are obviously recovering from the lows, but it is still a nice, handsome pump there. 13.5%. Quadruple zero 6,009. We're at 61% of sacrifice at the moment. Pulsex there is at quadruple zero 176, up 17.4%. It's a nice little gain there. And the buy and burn is at 637.9 billion Pulsex, which is just burning away nicely. 3.11% of all the public supplies now being bought up and burned. 3.11%. That's in 241 days. So looking really good as the buy and burn there at the moment. Incentive token is at 55, just under 56 cents, up 14.6%. The ratio, though, is probably a bit more important. It's at 9,141 Pulse at the moment per one incentive. There are over 21 million incentive tokens in existence, with 117,000 burned through the TRH protocol from Jacob's ecosystem. So that's pretty much it. Hex there at the moment is just under a penny. My goodness, up a nice, massive 19.4%. Obviously, coming off the not quite the bottoms, but we have been in the bottom range for quite some time. At the moment, this is almost back to 1 cent. We've got EHEX there at 49/100th of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 1.48 cents. So we're almost back to 1.5 cents. Remember, our recent high was 3 cents in terms of the local high above this. So we're back at about half of that at the moment, combined price, EHEX, PHEX. So that's day 241. Now, let's have a look at the charts here. We got the charts here, and you can see we had a really bullish candle today. Quadruple 06117 on the old Pulsechain. And of course, we did bounce off this resistance. That's what we talked about the other day, didn't we? So we have bounced off that. I did take a day off yesterday. Yeah, we had this bounce here as well. So we did get that bounce we were after. That's bullish, folks. That is really bullish. So this chart is looking really, really good at the moment. So better than probably maybe a lot of people expected, I guess, because look at that. This is, the SEC event back up here on the 31st. Obviously, a failed V recovery over here. It was not a bad move. We had a couple $1 million, 3 million, I think, DAI come over the bridge as well. Now, we have had a lot of DAI leave the chain, but we have had some compensation for that in terms of Coast and liquid loans. So, Coast being about $2.5 to $3.5 million, liquid loans like $25 million plus or minus. And so we have had some, compensation. However, maybe 20% of the liquid loans stablecoins are liquid, sort of moving around. The rest of them are stuck in the platform. So there's a bit of a trade-off. Now, I don't know how that's going to change over time. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. As you guys know, I was really keen for liquid loans to get to about 10% of the PLS off the market and USDL floating correspondent and moving around correspondingly. So we'll see how that goes, because it's still early days, super early for that. So we'll see how that plays out, especially in the bull market. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Very bullish moves, man. This is really bullish move. Let's look at the RSI. RSI, nice vertical move there. Look at that. We're all the way down at 34 and back up here at 53, looking pretty good. So kind of cool. Now, we also had this EMA cross. Remember, we had this bullish EMA cross, and it did kind of play out. It was a pretty weak one. And then we came back down. We had this bearish cross over here. See the cross there? That printed out there. And this is when the 9-day goes below 26. Now, you can set this up in different ways, but that's kind of the settings I've got there. And at the moment, we're looking for that to move back again. It looks like a bit of a fake out now with this bounce back. We had so many bullish sort of indicators. And this fake out is definitely turning out to be a fake out at this stage. Not quite crossed back, hasn't printed a bullish cross yet, but it looks like pretty imminent, doesn't it? Looks like that is going to be a fake out downside there, just to rinse out a few of you weekends, you weekends out there. No, I'm not talking about you guys, but some other people. So that is kind of, we still got this uptrend with the higher lows, so that's kind of cool too. So yeah, and I guess there's we've got more work to be done, but that's looking positive. Pulsechain there as well is pretty similar story there. We bounced off the bottom of Bollinger Bands. We had this bearish cross as well in the EMA, and we had a very shallow bullish cross over here, bit of a fake out, and then back again. We're going to get a bullish cross again, looking good. We have got narrow Bollinger Bands, and if they narrow again, that could be a bullish sign to the upside as well. And then on top of that, we had obviously similar RSI move all the way down from 34 in the oversold territory up to 57. Now, obviously, technically oversold down to 30 there, but definitely we've bounced off that low around 34 several times now, and up we go. So that's kind of the play there on Pulsechain. And the big thing about Pulsechain, we've still got Power City Earn Protocol coming up. So we get a nice little move on to the upside. And we've got Power City Earn Protocol. That's only a plus, right? So Pulsechain is going to get collateralized, taken off the market. And, of course, we'll get a third stable coin on Pulsechain, PXDC. So bullish stuff there in the future. That leads us to incentive token at the moment. A real power move, 56 cents. Back off there. Let's look at the ratio. Actually, I looked at the wrong one there. Let's go to the ratio to Pulse. And we're back off the bottom again. Second time we're back off 8,500 pretty much. That's the second time we've bounced off there. Isn't that funny? Now, it's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to get down everything else out there? What's going to happen? We'll find out. PHEX at the moment, obviously similar to Pulsechain. Looks pretty similar in many ways. Not quite as strong on the uptrend. Obviously, with Pulsechain, we've got all these higher lows here, but certainly still looking pretty good with bouncing off this resistance that we broke through. And even though we had a fake out in the EMA, it looks like we possibly could cross again in tomorrow or something like that. So wish for another green day, and the chart's going to start printing. That's all we're going to say. EHEX at the moment. Oh, let's do the RSI first quickly. We've got the RSI similar there. It did get to just touched oversold territory at 30, and we got up to 54 there at the moment. Let's have a look at the MACD as well. MACD is reversing. So, yeah, a little fake out here, a bit like that. And let's hope we get some big green move on here on the MACD, also moving bullish too. So let's see how we go. All right, EHEX also pumping up there. Man, EHEX got down so low, 0.4 of a penny. Man. We're back at 0.5 of a penny, so basically 0.5 cent. We're back there again, back like the Backstreet Boys. I don't know. That's the way we go. Well, anyway, we're back off 33, back up to 50. Looking not too bad there on EHEX. So let's get the combined price, PX and EHEX here on InvestX. And we can see we've got 2 green days here. We basically bottomed down at 1.17 cents. We're back at 1.43 cents at the moment, combined price of EHEX and PHEX there. And remember, our last sort of local high was around the 3 cent mark up to the top here, and that was back in October 26th. So onwards and upwards, eh? All right, when you have all these extended, long, bearish drag-out times, like in Hex and Pulse and like that, people can often sell their bags down, is what we've seen. And when it does decide to move on the upside, it has a strong rally, people get left behind. And they go, oh, I did hold on for a long time, but then I couldn't quite do it, and I had to sell out my bags, and then the chart ran away from me, and then you get something like I sold my Hex videos. Remember that guy? Sold my Hex video. And it's just unfortunate because, it does can drag on the emotions and the timing and everything else that goes on in life. But there we are. We're back up 1.3. Let's watch out for Hex during the next bull market. It's going to be fun to see how it plays out. I got a little video here, actually. Did I have a little video? Actually, I got rid of it. Sorry. I got rid of it. It was from Richard Hart on that topic. But anyway, that's it. We're going to get into the rest of it. Let's go to the validators and look at the validators at the moment. We've got the validators. So we've got that at 50,511. So we're up on the validators. We got 1.62 trillion off the market, which is pretty bullish, which is about 10% of the public supply of Pulsechain. If we add liquid loans, last time I checked, it was about 6%. So that's 16% off the market with Pulse. And of course, something new. We've got a new product, right? So Pulsechain validated NFTs. Now, you guys know that Dave Feder is #1 provider of validator machinery, validatorstore.com. 55% of the validators have gone through him and his store. which is pretty impressive. And he's often just launched a new product, validated Pulsechain validated NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And this is pretty bullish from David, really adding some, I think, fundamental value to Pulsechain. And here if you don't have 32 million pulses, what you need to do a validator, and you don't have the technical expertise or the time or whatever to set one up, and you got to keep managing it and stuff like that, then you can now use validated NFTs. And I think 64 from last time I checked, 64 NFTs equals one full validator, which is 32 million pulse. In any case, I know that a couple of days ago they put their first validators up based on NFTs, which was about 8 of them or something like that. So they're starting to warm up there. Now, David Fed has done a video on this, of course. So if you want to check that out, you're interested in getting validated NFTs, and of course there's a token called GOAT there as well that's tradable on the market, then you can definitely check this out. So it's no use to me covering it that much because he is the man. He's the man. So you might as well go to him, check that out. So if you want to check that out, definitely worth doing. You got any questions after David as well? He is in our Discord, by the way. So if you do have any questions, you can ask them inside our Discord as well, if that's convenient for you. So Pulsechain validator NFTs. And basically what you do is that through these, you're going to be able to, earn pulse from the validators and stuff like that through the confirmations and nodes and things like that. You help with the chain. So that is a full video on that one. So definitely check out that from David Feder. What else we got there? We got Loyal X says Tagaloa from the Philippines. Says Loyal X is a language. It's definitely a possibility, that one. It's just a second. Awesome, bro. Let's do it. It's just a Struggle. Thanks for everything you do, says Just a Struggle. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hex Incentive and Loan Pump It, says Just a Struggle. Hex Incentive and Loan Pump It. Yep. They're all pretty good quality, aren't they? Those ones. All right. Let's move on. That is from Dave Feder. So let's move on to the final topic. The gas prices, 240,000 beats. So we're actually a bit higher than normal. Normally we're around about 100, half of that amount, about 120 or so. It's 5/10 of a penny for a Pulsechain swap. That higher gas maybe just reflecting a bit more activity on Pulsechain with the higher prices. 3/100 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transferred. 1/10 of a penny for a PRC 20. 1/10 of a penny for PRC 20 transfer. Boy, that was a little tongue twister there. So there we go. We're 2,700 times cheaper than Ethereum. $14 at the moment to do Ethereum. And of course, this is a quiet time for Ethereum, really, despite the price pump, because we're still just coming off the back of holiday period. People are just starting to go back to work, right? 18,300 times cheaper than Bitcoin. And of course, looking good there and pretty much cheaper than everybody else as well, at least on the ones listed here. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Day 241. We're about to move on to day 242. So let's get into some of the other stuff that we've got going. Let's look in the top. Second category is the top PRC 20s. Let's see what action we have there. We can see that Wrap Bitcoin is up 8% to $53. Diatropa there is pretty much flat at 7,100. So actually still holding up pretty well though. What else is looking good? Treasury Bill down 21.6%. That's pretty dramatic. Teddy Bear down slightly. What else is going there? Atropa pretty much flat. Maker is up 14%. SHIB, the big meme coin, is up 10% there. Link is up 45% on Link. Let's quickly check the Link out. We don't often do that much, but Link is just being pumped. Look at that. Woohoo! Pump, pump, pump. So if you got a bit of Link, it's just being pumped. So that is Link. That's the chart there. I'm just trying to go back to the beginning. There's the chart of Link so far. Got 33k liquidity, so it's not too bad. You can put a little retail plays on that. Pepe is up 27%, so the big meme coin. We talked about SHIB, but Pepe is up. It is doing pretty well today. Up at 9,000 with 8 zeros in front of it, 28%. So a real strong day on the old Pepe coin there on Pulsechain. That is it. Wise token, of course, on Pulsechain. Now, Wise, of course, was a kind of a proxy copy of Hex. It's got a few differences, but also the largest liquidity pool of Ethereum that was on the Ethereum side. That is up 14% at the moment, 19,000 there. What else have we got there? Everything. We've got quite a few double-digit gains on a lot of stuff across the board. Sushi, LUSD, PLSB, Pulse Bitcoin up 15%. So quite a few gains across the board. Lido, Aave, yeah, we've got lots of nice gains. 23% on Aave there. It's pretty small liquidity pools, like 6,000-7,000, but still nice little gains there. Let's move over to the meme coins, our third category. See what's been pumping over there. Access Alive is up 14% to 10,400. That's been doing pretty well, of course. Note Token from Randy Alasky. These are all the influencer tokens. Note Token is up 7.8% as well. Mega, make Ethereum great again, is up 7%. Reflux is up 16%. And they're doing pretty well across the board there. Hex Orange Address up 13%, 37%. The viral marketers really, aren't they? The Hex Orange Address, a bit there as well. 37% on that one. So quickly look at that chart. And yeah, look at that. Wow, that's a pretty good looking chart. Hey, good looking. How you cooking? Something like that. I don't know. Let's move on. We got Fluffy Sippers up 11% as well. Now, I don't know if that's related to Somi, is it? Fluffy Sippers? I think originally it was, but I don't know. So maybe some random person did it. Can't remember who did that. Fluffy Sippers. Anyway, that's up 11%. And that's pretty much it. People Orient up 13% as well. So there we go. Pretty small liquidity on some of those last ones, though. Let's get to the main event, shall we? Pulsechain projects. And here we are. This is the main list. And, of course, this is the stuff that really adds a lot of value to Pulsechain. Halgo up 24%. 9-inch is up 11%. Actually, 9-inch managing to make a bit of a comeback there. Actually, let's go to another pool. Let's go to the 9-inch Pulse pool and have a look at that. So, man, this thing has been under a rough ride. We got down to 5 zeros, 6,700. 5 zeros. Now, we've actually had a little pump over the last 2 days, so that's nice to see for the investors at almost back at 8,000 there with 5 zeros. But it's got to lose a zero, right? Got to lose a zero, get back into the better range there. And there we are, 18. Now, what I have the price below? I can't even remember now. Was it 12.64? Can't remember. It was something like that. Can't remember what price I used to have as the break even for Sacrifice, but it was somewhere up here. Maybe 78% gain off the bottom. Yeah, there we are, hit 8,000 on 9-inch. So there we are. It is the 5th biggest TVL. I think it's still holding on to that spot. So it may be dubious. There may be 1 or 2 others out there that are competing, but that's kind of the play. Tetra at the moment up 16%. Now Tetra is one to look out for, folks. One of the top technology protocols, ecosystems, I should say, out there. And of course, they've got a lot more products to launch, right? So we're looking out for that as well. And you can do limit orders now through on PulseX and PX. Through their DEX, right? So definitely Omnis there, the Omnis DEX, a DEX aggregator, I should say. So they can definitely do that, 16% on that move. Batias is up 27%. Nice to see that. Another one, of course, DEX aggregator, absolutely crushing the trade volume on Pulsechain, doing very well as well. PLSP, of course, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Hold on to that. We're going to talk about that. That's PulsePot. Beetroot is up 6% there. Pulse Reflection's up 13, 19. Time Token from Internet Money Wallet up 26%. Nice little move up for Internet Money Wallet. Time Token, probably well deserved now they've gone full commercial. 26% on Pulse Kittens. Nice move there. Hocus Pocus up 39%. Hocus Pocus, of course, we covered the fact that they're going to be doing their farm wizard, aren't they? The wizard tool where you're going to be able to see all the farms and find the best yields. I think that's a really cool analytical tool coming up as well. Plant up 31% from TRH, looking good. So we've got a lot of nice moves on a lot of these coins after they've been down. They've been suppressed, right? So it's a nice little rebound for some of these. Fiat, of course, the fork of Aave on Pulsechain from PH Universe is up 21%. Looking pretty good. Communist, man, can't keep Communist down. 37% up there as well. So lots of nice little moves. I noticed that Velocimeter is down 47%, but liquidity is really small here, $746. So lots of nice little movers today on the old Pulsechain projects. Let's get into PulsePot because this is the main event that we had launch. What was it? About 2 days ago. It was just after my last live stream. And then I did repost Heinz Crypto, who did a live stream party a couple hours later, and PulsePot was launched. So it's been, just maybe 2 days now, is it, for PulsePot? Not quite 2 days, almost. PulsePot is live on Pulsechain. Now, the contract, of course, for PLSP, which is the token for PulsePot, is OXC5, ends in 6F4F. And I know people love this. Now, this is the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. So it's full DeFi. You know, you might have heard of other crypto casinos like Bitcoin. I can't remember the name for the Bitcoin one. But you might have heard Bitfury and others. Wow, this one here is decentralized compared to them. And so, yeah, it's fully interactive with the contracts. So you're interacting with the contracts full on. This is the innovation on Pulsechain. Fantastic. Now, obviously, there's a copy on BNB. But PulsePot is live, and actually PulsePot's more effective in some sense because it's cheaper, and also the fact that they've changed the tokenomics on the PulsePot side, so it's actually far more beneficial with a buy and burn. So it's looking pretty good. So this is launched now, PulsePot.io, and I'm going to leave a copy of that if you guys want to check it out. If you like a bit of entertainment, let me post that out. So PulsePot. Now, we have had Jacob on this show many times, and we're looking forward to having him in the new year once he gets back to us. But apart from that, that is it. Let's have a look there. That is PulsePot, so check it out. It is the world's first peer-to-peer full DeFi crypto casino. They have launched the first game, but they've also got some interesting other things, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's have a look how the price has gone. Let's get on to that. So this is the price. Price has been very good indeed. So we started off here. The price issued looks like it opened at $1.91. It got sold off very quickly by the usual dumpers at the beginning. We got pushed right down. This is on the hourly chart, by the way. This is the hourly candles. The second hour we got pushed down to the low. The low was $1.37. So if you picked it up at $1.37, you would have been able to ride this baby all the way up. Even if you hadn't sacrificed for it, you would have been able to ride this baby all the way up. You guessed it, to how much? $7.99, so basically $8. What mad gains that would have been. That would have been mad gains. You'd been able to ride it, and you had the time to do it too. This was something that realistic. You would have been able to get almost a 500% gain inside 18 hours. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Can't say there's no opportunities on Pulsechain. Now, the other thing, of course, is here we are at $4.54. So we had a little bit of sell-off after that move. Typical, right? Profit taking. We got all the way down with some big volume selling here, maybe some big whale, and we got down to $2.02 again, which is about 10 cents above the opening price on the first hour, and now we've rallied all the way back up to $4.54 again, and that's a pretty solid position. Now, the sacrifice price, if I remember right, it was about $5. The expectation that there would be about 5 EVM chains. That makes about $1 per chain, and so your break even if your sacrifice is maybe $1. At the moment, it's $4.50, so you're well up in the money. What's that, a 5.5x? And hey, look, even if you ignore, let's say we've only got 2 EVM chains, well, then let's say your cost price is $2.50 at the moment. But obviously, if the other other chains do launch, we know that one's possibly coming. I think it's Radix. We've heard some rumors about Radix coming. Then, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. And if you're there, you're still up pretty big on this. So far, so good on the old PulsePot sacrifice. And this is just one of Jacob's ecosystems. And it's nice to have a crypto casino on Pulsechain. Isn't that badass? I think it's pretty badass. Now, obviously, we're not, pushing gambling, but people do it anyway, right? It's one of the biggest entertainment pastimes in the United States and around the world. So, yeah, it's here. It's here if people want it. In any case, there's a lot more to it, of course. You can participate in staking and, of course, get a share of the profits and, of course, the buy and burn. Or at least get buy and burn. It's going to be pretty awesome. So this is the front interface. Looks pretty snazzy. It's got Pulsechain colors. Can't be too bad. Looks pretty snazzy to me. And, of course, look at that. Jackpot is open. Upcoming games are going to be Roulette, Fortune Wheel, Sports, Powerball, price calls, and video slots. I know quite a few people are excited about a lot of these different games. Some of them have been video slots in particular, but all these games are going to offer something for somebody. And we can see already there have been 513 games based on this, 513 games. So that's pretty amazing already so far. It's only about, inside 2 days. So pretty good that you can see all the players are playing. There's also a chat bar. So if you want to chat, you can chat away by wallet, and you got that anonymity, and you can get in there and chat about your wins, your losses, people sniping. Now, what you might see quite often is that people come for this jackpot game. Some of the bigger whales like to come in and snipe at the end. And you can see this big player here trying to go for it all, right? Now, obviously, sometimes they lose, though. Sometimes these big players that come in and they actually lose. And I remember on BNB Pot seeing a couple games with over $10,000, and the big whale lost. And I bet that was a hard day in the office. So it is gambling, let's put it that way, or what we call it, e-entertainment. We'll soften it down, e-entertainment. But anyway, it's looking pretty good, and people are playing and having fun with that. Now, it is burning a pulse as well, and you have to check out a lot of the different features here around staking. There is a staking table. The bigger amount you stake, the more benefits you get, pretty much. So there is that. I think there's a loser compensation as well. there's a win compensation. So yeah, if you got nothing staked, then 3% is the winner's fee, and it goes down, down, down after that. So yeah, hopefully they'll put some information here. It's not completely clear. And then of course they've got the tokenomics here as well on the tokenomics page. If you have any questions, don't ask me. ask get into the Telegram group. The Telegram is at the top left out there, and you can ask some questions of Jacob and the moderators inside Telegram there. I think Heinz Crypto is going to have another stream as well on this, so definitely get into that. All right, that is pretty much it on there. Pretty much it's kind of cool. You can choose all sorts of different types of tokens as well to enter. You can choose all different types of tokens. In fact, many popular ones that you guys didn't know, even a Troper and others you can put in here and enter the game. It's pretty easy to do. It's pretty well. And you can also buy and stake and become part of the ecosystem. Now, there's only 1 million tokens. So it's going to be interesting to see if they get good game volume. Then, it might be quite successful longer term. With that. So in any case, great offering. We are going to get other GameFis coming on Pulsechain, like Win-Win. It's kind of a staking prize pool hybrid. So we're going to have that. We do have a few little games on some other sites. I'm thinking of Pulse Rate, which is kind of, that main protocol is kind of dead, but they've still got the games on there. So I don't know how often they play or not, but there is a few other things. But PulsePot is going to be the main crypto casino on Pulsechain at this stage, and full DeFi, which is pretty amazing. Now let's go back to some of the other posts here for PulsePot. They've had a few other things here. Yeah, sacrifice projects are awesome, says PulsePot. Obviously, the price was up pretty high. Not all sacrifices are the same. Obviously, this project has done pretty well. Zach here saying, I sacrificed 1,000 for this project, and I'm amazed to see the value of tokens I received is worth exactly what I paid for them. And obviously, the price actually went up from there. So doing pretty well. What else there? What happens with 100% of casino profits are spent buying back shares and burning them? 1 million supply, hard cap, deflationary, blockchain first. Imagine if stake did the same. Each token would be worth more than BTC. Let's go. Obviously, a big part of superior tokenomics that they've changed on PulsePot. So pretty cool. I said, does Fetch Oracle even work yet? No, we are using our own RNG random number generator until Fetch is released. So obviously Fetch is on a rollout, so it's just ramping up. So at the moment, that's what the technology they're using at the stage. So kind of cool. All right, so that is PulsePot. We're going to keep a track of that, of course. Currently $4.25. Market cap of 4.2 million with liquidity of 128,000. Pretty good. In fact, I started off with more than liquid lines. So and at the top of the market was twice as much as liquid lines and liquidity. So doing pretty well. 660 makers so far as well. Doing pretty well, I would say, at the moment. So that is PulsePot. And of course, what else is coming from Jacob? Well, PUSD Algo, potentially the fourth stable coin on Pulsechain. It is in the last day. 18 hours and 46 minutes to go to get into PUSD Algo. There's currently 393,000 on the list there. We did have a glitch in the matrix the other day because we had this big 100-something thousand whale going. So I'm not sure what's happened to that, but it's not showing up today. It looks like it's disappeared. In any case, the sacrifice closes in 18 hours and 46 minutes, PUSD Algo. Now, you can check out some videos on the channel if you want to get into that. I do say that I am very bullish on this, and hopefully they'll get the amount of capital they need to raise to set it all up. But 75% of all the sacrifice proceeds are going straight back into the protocol day one, 50% into the liquidity pools, and 25% into the stability miner, the full DeFi mechanism to peg the stablecoin PUSD, which is a fantastic brand name, to USDL of all things, another great brand name. So I'm excited about it. Now, if you want to get a participate, you've got 18 hours, 46 minutes to go based on the current timeline. The last day of the sacrifice, or at least at the moment, that's there. And of course, you'll be able to get a 90% bonus if you use the link in the video description. So you've got to use that link to get that 9% bonus. And if you do over $1,000, you will get a second bonus called a bonus X. At the moment, there'll be some random number between 1.01 and 2X. So if you get up the high side, obviously you'll be dancing in the streets and that'll be fun. So that is at the moment what coins are accepted. Pulsechain and Ethereum. Any of these coins on here are accepted. And then, of course, all you have to do is send it to this wallet address, which is the sacrifice wallet. OX96 ends in E223. And, of course, you just have to send your funds there, and it will automatically recognize your wallet. You can connect up as well and see how many points you get. Now, as an example, this person here used a referral link of 19%, which is what I've got in the video description. and they ended up doing over $1,000. So they got a 1.62 randomly generated multiplier for bonus X. That's the second bonus that you get. And they ended up with $17,756. So not bad at all. So they may have put in something like $8,000 or just over $8,500. They ended up with $17,700 as their effective contribution to this lobby. What do they get? For every dollar they get 20 algo, 200 flex, and 0.01 wrap PUSD. That's the reward version of the stablecoin PUSD. And of course, you can see that they ended up getting quite a few of those. They got 355,000 algo, 3.5 million flex, which is the incentive token on the platform, and 177 wrap PUSD. So not bad there as well. So definitely use the link in the video description and get your 90% bonus today. You got 18 hours and 46 minutes to get in. Yes, sir. Now, two caveats, of course. They've got to reach their capital funding for this project. Needs to sort of pretty much be self-funded. Now, I do believe that Jacob maybe end up topping it up. We'll see what happens in that space. There's also talk of news about him doing something else to promote PUSD algo, because obviously it could be very big on Pulsechain. Help with scalability, top TVLs, attract some big players, and is really unlimited from that point of view. And what's the other thing? Yeah, they may have some big news about that. So let's see what happens for those two things. Kind of cool. All right, that is that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about quickly is Discord membership. If you haven't joined for the new year, 2024, get in there. It is a private Discord, of course, so get in there. It's $5 per month, 16 cents a day, and we've got everything right in there that you could possibly want on Pulsechain and Hex. You get all the early alpha. We've got some super smart people in Discord. They're always providing alpha, and it's a great place to be. So we've got about 1,250 members. We're pretty much the first big Pulsechain Hex community on Discord that's dedicated to Pulsechain and Hex and stuff. We do have, obviously, 6 chat groups that you can chat about different topics, including the only Pulsechain Hex community that I'm aware of that has a crypto helpline, and we've helped probably hundreds and hundreds of people, so definitely get in there. 3 audio chats as well, including covering projects and strategy on Pulsechain and stuff like that, and that's constant. People doing that all the time, as well as we have a games room as well. People playing games in there, so it's pretty cool. We have the most comprehensive Pulsechain information, useful links. So we've got all the Pulsechain projects, including diagrams and charts, everything like that. We also have all the useful links like on-ramps, on-chain, cross-chain, swaps, all that sort of stuff. We've got a whole list there. It's beautiful, and much, much more. So definitely get into that as well. Visit. Now, in addition to that, we have a strategy room, which is invisible to everybody in the Discord unless you're a member. So you only see it if you're a member. It is multi-chain, so it's not just Pulsechain. And we're looking for the best protocols out in crypto for the bull market. And we've been doing very, very well indeed, front running pretty much all the strategies, really, to be honest, and thinking about the best results. So if you want to get that, something I don't generally talk about on the YouTube, that's what we talk about in the strategy room. So you get all the alpha there. That's $35 a month, so get in there on that one. Our first session is going to be the weekend coming up. So you want to get in there. That's going to be our opening session. So strategy room is opening up this weekend, so it's going to be fun. All right, I'm sure Wookie's got his link in there, so you can get on that. The other thing is Hex Conference is coming up. So Hex Conference, day 3, and of course, it may have started already, probably. I don't know. But in any case, I will be on there at 9 p.m. Central Time in the United States with Crypto Heartbeat. And of course, that is expected to be, I don't know, is it about 2.5 hours, something like that from now? So you'll see me on there maybe 3 hours from now, and that's sitting in a session here. In the meantime, they have lots of other sessions here, panel coming on. They got Hex Scout on, talk at 7 p.m. Eastern Central Time. Bucca Mentalist or something like that. Bucca Mentals is on then as well, and David Feather and Gamma. That is going to be a very good technical session there around validating, and of course that is also on that time. Then there's going to be some meetup panels in there as well. SJ Wild, A-Bits, Black X Kinley, and Will Stevenson. So that is all before that I'm on with Crypto Heartbeat. After us, of course, is looking to Hex and Gerardo at the talk, and then Hexographer and Maddie Allen. And then finally, we've got a keynote speaker there, Audrey de Grey, with the longevity discussion, followed up finally with the socials at the end at 11 p.m. With social speakers there. Of course, tomorrow will be the last day, day 4. And of course, it's going to be fun to see. We've got Access Alive then. 9 Inch is in the morning, Maddie Allen. Then we're onboarding to Hex with Toby Wan, Kareem, Whitney, and Ben Dubard there. followed up with Hex Crypto and History, Hex and Crypto History there, Randy Alasky and Hex Tangent. Talk there with Toby Wan and a few others. Talk there, Highest of Stakes, RG3 and Mikey. So if you'd like the Highest of Stakes documentary, check that out. There's a power panel after that with quite a few people. And then, of course, the final keynote speaker, Richard Hart, Rewind All New Material. Will Richard Hart be there? That is going to be the excitement there. So stay tuned. That is going to be at 10 p.m. Central Time. Richard Hart, will he be there? Will he shock the world? And we will see. So there we are. That's coming up. Yeah, big shout out to Matty, of course, and his team for organizing that. A lot of big effort. They're also going to try and do the world record for AI with languages there as well for all the influencers, hopefully over 100 or so. So that's something else they're working on. I'm not sure how that process works, but it's still going. All right, so that is pretty much it for that. That leads us into Hex, of course, hex.com, and buy Hex and burn it for T-shares, and then use your T-shares to mine more Hex. Pretty much it, hex.com, links in the video description. We're going to get into the results for day 1498 on Ethereum. Before we do, let's catch up on the chat one more time and see who else has jumped in there. Let's go back up here. We've got Big Kahuna in the house there with the emojis, looking good, Big Kahuna. We've got Crypto Hex as well with the rocket bags. So folks, join the pump, says Crypto Hex. Yeah, it's nice to see green candles. The 100K was a glitch, says Brennan. Yeah, we'll talk about that in Discord. I know Jacob took that out temporarily, says Archie. Okay, so there we are. That's on the play there from Archie. Wow, must have an invaluable token. That was Sax, says Brennan. Yeah. We'll talk about that in Discord. Get in there. He mentioned in Telegram when he did it, it's going back, and shortly, from what I understand, I see. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens there. It's going to be fun to see. I love it. I'm really looking forward to PUSD Algo. Honestly, guys, you guys know I tried to back the winners, and hey, it looks riskier than other projects, but the upside potential, the amount of capital in the sacrifice, the fact that 75% of the capital is going to the launch of the project, and the scalability of the project, potential upside could be massive. Then I'm very bullish on it. It's definitely a good one. Craig says, morning all. Hey, good to see you, Craig. Wookie says, how will we recognize you? I don't know, man. Yeah, the same as normal, Wookie. Talking about on the X conference there. BTC boom, says Pac-Man. Absolutely. BTC looking like a boss, man. And hopefully the start of something beautiful for the next 15 to 18 months. It's going to be fun to see. Well, let's get into the final topic of the day. Bitcoin. No, it's Ethereum. It's the better Bitcoin. It's Hex. All right, so 14.98 there. We're at the 8th of January. We're prices at just under half a penny, up 10%. So we had two really nice days after having a pretty big down day. We've got two big nice recovery days. The payout per T-share 6.76 today and 6.758 yesterday. I'm bringing up yesterday's because I didn't cover it yesterday. We've got the share rate is up to 6.7 today to 31,514. Earlier pays better in Hex. Average mining length 7.09 years, like a beastie boy. Is quite long period. APY for existing T-share miners 39.16% APY annual percentage yield. What else there? The shares were down up yesterday, but down today. 3,800. We got 9,631,000 T-shares in the old mining pool there, or ownership pool for Hex. Looking over at the percentage of coins locked, 9.31% of all Hex is locked on the old Ethereum chain. We had pretty modest penalties yesterday and today. We got 65 million in the reward pool each day, approximately, unless we get mad penalties like we did 3 days ago. Look at that, huge 19.5 million penalties, crazy stuff. We got liquid holders up to 20, miners down 7. We got 119,239 miners on the old Ethereum chain. Now moving to day 241 on Pulsechain for Hex, we've got the 8th of January. Price there just under a penny, man, so close, 9,900 for a penny, up 19.7% on the back of 11% yesterday. The payouts yesterday were 8.126 Hex, man, that's awesome. And today 6.81, 6.8 at the moment on today's results. So some really nice payments on the old Pulsechain lately. Share rate, no change, 31,488. The average mine length, 6.85 years, so slightly shorter than what we see on Ethereum. The APY rewards, 37%, but yesterday was 45% for existing T-share miners. Incredible APY, looking good, and the price of Hex going back up. That's looking nice as well. What else we got there? T-shares down 43,000 yesterday, only 468 today. We got 9.6 million T-shares in the pool on Pulsechain. Looking at the lock percentage of coins, 9.77% of Hex is locked on the Pulsechain. We had massive penalties yesterday, 26.5 million penalties on Pulsechain yesterday, crazy, and just under 1 million today. We got 65 million in the pool today, and we had 78 million yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, what else there? Changing cart holders up 39 and 20 today. We're up 12 miners today, 124,500 miners on the old Pulsechain, about 5,000 more than there is on Ethereum. But once again, you can buy Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain, and you can start mining today. Now, we're up to day 1,499 on Ethereum. Can you believe it? Almost at 1,500 days. That's crazy stuff in year 5 of Ethereum, Hex, and looking good. Pulsechain, of course, on day 242, rocking on. Now, T-share price is still very friendly on Ethereum, $155 for the spot T-share price, and $313 for the spot Pulsechain price. Obviously, longer pays better, and of course, you can get that even cheaper. So there we go. That is pretty much it. What a day. What a day in the office. That's it. We talked about so much today. And the big news, of course, I think PulsePot, successful launch. Really cool. Quality, high quality. In fact, the most complicated probably protocol on Pulsechain has just launched, and Jacob has delivered another product. So there we go. Looking forward to his next one's coming up. We want to get into TYZZ. That's called DeFi Binance. He's going to take on Binance directly. That's awesome. I love that stuff. And of course, the other one, he's got TYRH V4. That's supposed to be a major upgrade for TYRH. So looking forward to that. And of course, what's that on? PUSD Algo, which we talked about today, which is exciting, potentially a huge project. The fourth stablecoin, of course, on Pulsechain. And it solves the scalability issue of the stablecoin dilemma, as well as being a beastie boy for TVL and potentially attracting some big players. Like to see where they add some marketing to attract some of those big players as well over on other chains. It'd be pretty fun to see. All right, I'm going to be on Hex conference probably in a couple of hours' time to catch me then with Crypto Heartbeat. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I will catch you again tomorrow on the live show. How about that? Since we're back, holiday period's pretty much getting wind up. Some people have an extra week. Those jealous people know. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Get into our Discord. We have a conversation there as well. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. Enjoy yourself, and DCA for the win. There we go. DCA for the win. All right, let's play out some music on the way out. What are we going to play? Let's find something that's jingly. Let's do it. Let's play it. All right, bye now. Take care. See ya.
Well, I drifted off again at work, thinking about Pulsechain. And occasionally I think back to that twerk, Richard Hart bringing his game. Well, I didn't make the sacrifice 'cause I came too late, but day one I'm still making it rain. Oh, I drifted off again at work, thinking about Pulsechain. I woke up in a sweat last night, dreaming about PulseX. Won't be long before I'm going to bed, wearing a Rolex. There's so much to love about it, I can't pick my favorite. It's almost better than sex. Well, oh, I woke up in a sweat last night, dreaming about PulseX. If you wanna be set up for life, you better stake your Hex. Might as well start with 5555, a financial suplex. Generational wealth is just a click away. It's a Nobel Prize worthy flex. If you wanna be set up for life, you better stake your Hex. A financial suplex, a Nobel Prize worthy worthy flex. You better stake your head.